Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Cheap Seats. This one, you've seen us already in the week. Now, this one is the FPL show, where we talk all things FPL. I think I am in the best position.
You're still doing well.
And I use my wild card. I'm in like the best ever position I've ever been in an FPL. I think, guys, like I'm like top 150,000. It's looking good. You know, I'm trying to pull it through. You know, Jesus, Kane, and Haaland seems to be working. They want to tinker with that. I'm like Liverpool. I've got midfield issues, but I've got a front line to boot. I'm Spurs. Midfield is a little bit mad, but front line's popping.
Right.
Yeah, I should actually change my name to Vibes SC. So remember, the show is sponsored by Classic Shirts ZA. And so go check them out and check all the kits that they have there. They've got a nice little World Cup collection brewing there. And this shirt of the week is the Brazil World Cup 2022 shirt worn by Richarlison or Martinelli or Anthony or one of the Gabriels at Arsenal. And Brazil will be hoping to win their next title in 20 years. 2002 with South Korea, where the real Ronaldo was doing his thing. James, what do you think of this kit?
Ronaldo.
No, he's the real Ronaldo. Like that other one's a fake.
Yeah, fact.
I actually quite like the blue. I won't lie. Like it's I don't know. I think
it's because you got a Gatorade kit this year.
Flip.
Lumo thing in the Man United.
I don't know. Maybe I like mountain cats. I don't know. But to be fair, Brazil gonna wear that kit once the whole tournament, and never again. So
if Brazil wear blue in this tournament, you know that they're going to get knocked out. They do not. We don't want to see them wearing blues.
It'll be in the group stages somewhere.
Oh, but they beat England. They beat England wearing blue in 2002.
Oh, it's not hard to beat England, though, to be fair. So so they're trying to recreate 2002 with probably the best squad I've ever seen them have. But anyway, you can go check out the kits and try relive the Seleção's journey in Qatar. So please do go check that out. Remember, our discount code is CheapSeats99. This is the FPL show where everyone discusses all the FPL situations, all the things that they're thinking about this week. We're just going to go on and get the week, how the week's going. I tinkered with my midfield. I used my wild card trying to get some movement going. I had Andres Pereira on the bench, and so I was. But in the same game, Lucas Paqueta got an assist. So I'm in the realm of trying to find differentials that are going to get me. You got 82 points, and Paul. Just calm down, bro.
I know. Look, guys. No, but that's the strategy. Like, so I'm trying to figure it out. Yes, guys. You have Haaland. You just hope. So here's my thing. I need 2 of my 3 strikers to score and 2 of my midfielders to score, and that already gives me round about 50, 60 points. And then, my defenders can blank or concede. But that's where I'm thinking right now. Dean, how was your week?
It was frustrating. Last week I said that I need to get rid of Perisic, and then I started doubting myself and started thinking, Perisic might play. And then I was so close to going Diaz to Foden, and I was like, no, I can't. I back my boys. Diaz versus Arsenal. Arsenal are terrible. Let's run rampant. Man gets injured now for the rest of his life, and Foden went and scored 11 points. So I'm not making great decisions at the moment. Foden, I had him from the beginning. I transferred him out, but just before he started doing these massive points hauls. So he got a 19-pointer and an 11-pointer since I've moved him out. So now I'm moving him in, and he's going to dry up. So we'll see how that goes.
So that means I need to take Foden out my team now.
Yeah, everyone must get rid of Foden.
Jack Grealish time. Jack Grealish redemption time. It's probably cheap.
It is going to be interesting, though. I know we'll touch on it, but City blank, Arsenal blank next week. So they also have to come into like what transfers you're making in, because you're probably going to have holes in your squad next week. So it's going to be interesting. And now with Trent injured, Diaz injured, I think a lot of people have a lot of holes to fill.
If you still have Trent in your team, you can delete
worse than me,
your
even.
team.
Yeah.
Delete your team. Like Trent's the one guy that needed to go, along with Salah and everyone else. So I'm thinking of using my free hit for that blank week next week. Because I've got 2 Arsenal players and 3 City players. So I was No, like I went all in. Like the two best teams in the league, you go all in.
I'm sorry, have you got Kane in your team?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
See, I've got Kane. Remember, my front line is going to stay like this for the entire season. It's Haaland, Kane, and Jesus. It's all it is. Unless Mbappe comes in, then we need to figure out how we're going to get Mbappe in. But
we can't afford him.
You'll arrive and be like, I'm not coming unless my FPL price is 15.
Yeah.
Yeah. So AB, how was your week?
Similar to Dean's. I kept Perisic. Obviously, I have been sticking by Mo for God knows how long. I'm giving him one more week.
Against City.
I'm giving him
one more week.
I'm not doing transfers because of the 2 transfers. But the worst thing was that stupid handball rule screwed Rashford for me. So
I also had Rashford. I
mean, it's a ridiculous handball rule. Like, how can it be one way for attackers and a different way for defenders completely? Makes no sense.
Because I have no option in the as an attack. It makes sense to me.
I mean, if Gabriel handballed against Liverpool. That was just the
I have
clear handball
multiple handballs that Arsenal have had against them. So I'm not complaining. I am not complaining at all.
We won't talk about handball. Let's not talk about handballs in FPL. There's no point to
that. Okay, cool. Let's go with AB. AB, this week you're not
doing nothing.
You are not doing anything. You are like standing pat. And you know what's funny, right? You're lost on this. I think you're on the one slide I had when I was preparing this. The last time you had these two, Haaland and Johnson.
Really?
Speak to me about this Forest dude. Because I'm like, why did you have a Nottingham Forest player in the first place?
Because they're playing Wolves, first of all, and he's cheap. And Wolves can't buy a goal, right? So I've also got Hendo as keeper. Because Wolves, I think, have only scored 2 or 3 goals this season. And Johnson is owned by 1% of people, and I think I selected him early on, and he scored a couple of goals for me. He scored 2 goals for me. So I'm a very loyal guy. You score 1 goal for me, I'm probably going to keep you for 40 weeks. So
the season's only 30 days.
But the biggest move for me this week is not making a move, so that next week when Mo blanks, I can say bye Mo, and I can say bye to Brennan Johnson. And I can bring in Kane, and I can put someone else
to stay.
Yeah.
Have you played your wild card yet?
No.
Oh, clever.
So maybe I'll free hits or wild card next week. But
yeah. So the 2 teams. So it's Manchester City, Arsenal blanking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Manchester City and Arsenal blanking. So
it's 5 players for me.
You see, this is why I said, guys, no Arsenal players from the start. For this week. That's why I said it.
Where are you? Where are you right now?
Doesn't matter. At least I don't have 5 players missing a game. I only got 3.
Guys, I'll just play a free hit, bring in the Bruno Guimaraes, try figure it out, and then we're back to normal after that. Because the other blank, the other potential blank is Charles's coronation. So which is going to be in May. So and that's at the back end of the season. So I hope we get another free hit there. Yeah, you'll worry about that later. So that's me. So I'm gonna go next. So I'm also going down the route of AB, not necessarily wanting to do transfers, but I was like, wait, Reece James was limping this week, midweek, so he might be sitting out. And also I'm trying to do money ball with Harry Potter. So he played Marc Cucurella on the weekend. He then played Ben Chilwell midweek. So my assumption is that Marc Cucurella plays on the weekend again.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Yes. And so that's where I'm at, and so that's my potential Reece James look. You can also go Ben White or Saliba if you're looking to find someone to bring in Reece James, because obviously we started the season big at the back. He's the second last big I have because I've got Cancelo. So that's my big worry, because Chelsea are leaky-ish. James hasn't had the greatest of seasons, but he can go on a run. and Chelsea look like they might be going on a run. But if James is out, like tomorrow afternoon, if you find out that Reece James is not at the team hotel or Reece James was not on the bus that went to God knows where, then you can then do a quick sub because outside of that, my differential is Lucas Paqueta. He's effectively on a rotation with Andreas right now because Andreas Pereira is scoring worldies against West Ham. Like, who would have thought? And so I'm trying to see if this West Ham little renaissance is going well. I've got Thilo Kehrer as a right back in my side. I think he's better than Kufal, but he hasn't given us something. You know, I need an assist. I need something that's going to be like, yes, okay, I want this guy, and I've seen some things, but he's the guy on the chopping block for me. So, but obviously, remember, I'm always Captain Haaland, but you can Captain Kane. I'm actually thinking about possibly either Captain Kane or Captain Jesus this weekend. Arsenal are playing Leeds, so there is that potential as a differential captain to just be like, hey, Jesus, here you go. But because I'm an Arsenal fan, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to touch the money. So it's either Kane or Haaland. I'll decide tomorrow night. Dean, let's go to you. You are reversing everything.
Yeah, so I mean, Diaz out is an easy one because of the injury. I'm putting Foden in, as I said. I should have done it 2 weeks ago. He's now in. I don't really care that City missed the game against Arsenal because I can kind of plan around it, or I'll just move him out for a week and back in. Because City's fixtures after the break are just absolutely ridiculous. Like they play Brighton, which fine might be tough, but then they go Leicester, Fulham, Brentford, Leeds, Everton. I mean, it's going to be shambolic what they're going to do to teams. So I'd rather get Foden in now, try to just save the price because I reckon he's going to go up. But the differential is where I want to speak a little bit because with Trent being out, with the potential for Reece James being out, people are looking now at, obviously not big at the back, but they are looking for defenders. And Emerson Royale is out. So he's not injured. Sorry, he's got the red card. So he's suspended for another 2 more games. Everyone thought that Perisic might play on the right and Conte play Sessegnon on the left, but that didn't happen. He played Doherty. And he actually had a pretty good game against Brighton. He's not fantastic, but he looks like he's going to play in that right wing back role. And I think if he starts getting some sort of confidence, which I think he got from the Brighton game, he could be a massive differential. He's 4.6 million. So you can just take a punt on him for the next week against Everton, which we should score. And he's a pretty decent replacement. And I mean, fine, from a Spurs perspective, that's who I'm looking at. But the other defenders that obviously people are looking at would be someone like Trippier from Fulham, if you don't already have him.
But he's quite expensive as well.
He is quite expensive. But if you want to take a punt, I honestly think a Brighton defender and even someone like Webster or Dunk, who are maybe not the most attacking defenders, but Brighton have Brentford this weekend, and Brentford are looking shocking at the moment. Like they can't score. And then they got Nottingham Forest the week after that. So taking a little bit of a punt on a Brighton defender as a replacement for the holes in the team is not a bad option at the moment. And I think that could be a route out.
The other one for me is I know you're gonna, I think you guys are gonna laugh at me, but I went James Justin at 4.3 for Leicester because Leicester have like 6 fixtures next that are blue. And this, like they've okay, I don't say they've turned a corner, but
not losing to Bournemouth. You're still very much trying to turn the wheel.
Yeah. But you can try get some joy from there, but I wouldn't go there. I would go Ryan Sessegnon. I think he played well midweek. My issue with Doherty is what Conte said. So like I'm sitting there going, obviously Conte's got no options, but he doesn't like playing the guy there. So like I'm like, okay, dude, what are we trying to do? The other issue for me is you can't find teams with clean sheets. The only team with more, like the team with the most clean sheets is Everton, but I think that's ended because we saw Manchester United with now that Everton's playing, I think you guys. So that's another issue that I'm having. So I don't want to. So like all the defenders who have big points at the top, if you look at FPL, it's all guys who've had one massive game week. So they've either scored a goal and got an assist or a couple of assists or something. So it makes life a little bit harder. And everyone's like on 3 assists. Like the most guy with assists is Trippier with 3. So and there's no Trent. Cancelo's obviously there and thereabouts, and he does really well for City. They're a big shout for clean sheet. But like I'm with you guys. Like I don't want an Arsenal defender in my team. I can't do that. But you guys can go for them. Ben White, Gabriel, Saliba, pick whoever you want. I know Dean doesn't do that, but I have to talk to my boys. The other team, as you said, is Brighton. I like the Brighton defenders quite a lot. I think they're a good shout. But yeah, look, I think there's. I look around the league and I'm like, actually, it's quite bad at defender.
Slim pickings. Like Dallo at United, I was like, oh, maybe Dallo could be
no.
But look at our next few fixtures. I think it's Spurs, Chelsea.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
And
so
there's in terms of FPL picks, that's why I think the move is. I think you keep Cancelo because he's not really a defender. You have Trippier or someone around that 5 million, 5.5, just that can play like a wing back, and then you go cheap. That's why like the 4.5, 4.6 is where you're at, and then you just spread that money in midfield and you try and get. I mean, I've got up front. I've got Kane, Haaland, and Tony, just because I can't. I'm not
you won't have Jesus. Yeah,
not going to put Jesus.
Won't have Jesus. So loading it up front, getting those £8 million midfielders like. You've got Jared Bowen, who's now on penalties. He's looking pretty good in that West Ham. Madison can do whatever he wants to do. Foden's looking good. Kulusevski's now back from injury, so he's probably going to start playing in the Spurs.
Rashford plays as a striker.
Rashford's playing. And then also Trossard from Brighton. Yeah. I mean, that man is electric, and he's 6.8, I think, at the moment. And like I said, the next 2 fixtures are Brentford, who look leaky, and then Nottingham Forest. So
he's my Foden replacement in the free hit. Yeah, that guy's coming.
Maybe it's the season for centre backs because, like, think about Anderson from Palace. That guy has been getting those.
But Palace are leaky.
But the thing is, you don't care anymore. Like, if
you want to send it back to schools.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Spread it in the, and that's why like Zaha is now playing. So many people have Zaha in the team because Crystal Palace's fixtures look so good. Even Anthony from United aren't playing well, but the man scores all the time by the looks of it. So.
Every time he plays, he scores. The other guy for the free hit for me is Eberechi Eze. He's between so for instance, if Lucas Paqueta like wets the bed this weekend, Eze comes into my side. It's really simple. Crystal Palace like the next 8 games are green, like it's ridiculous, and you can even double up. I'd say on Zaha and Thingy, and if you come out with like I don't know. 100 points between the two of them by the end of these 8 weeks, you're winning.
Well, I think a lot of guys are going to have to, like you say, I think the free hit's obviously in play, and a lot of people are saying they play Mo Salah in the free hit as well because it's an option. If Salah performs, West Ham, he could play. The free hit is going to be on for a lot of people, and there's not a big turnaround in these games over the weekend and in the midweek fixtures. So. Also, there's going to be a lot of rotation, I reckon. So it's going to be tough to navigate, and now with the blank as well. So if you've got five or 6 players missing, you have to play the free hit, and you have to start planning now because you're not going to have time to be able to figure out.
I might, but So for me, the free hit is trials for guys I'm looking to bring on, like guys like Aubameyang need a look in, and
look at them this weekend, and then
Well, for me, look at them this weekend, and then it's a scouting weekend for me. But I hope it's a scouting weekend. I hope it's a scouting weekend for everybody. Remember the fixture is Brentford versus Brentford versus Brighton. Tomorrow night. So get your picks in early 7:30 South African time. Outside of that, all the best, guys. Hoping to hold on to whatever
I'll beat you next week, Paul.
This tiny lead I have on top of our group. Hopefully Haaland scores a hat. Oh, triple captain Haaland this weekend. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Yeah, outside of that, guys, thank you very much. Have a great day. Goodbye, good night, and lesale. Kakahiso.